The final 2 days of the World Team Tennis regular season. 4 teams still with a chance to play the Philadelphia Freedoms for the King Trophy on August 5th. Tonight, the Orange County Breakers host the Springfield Lasers. Both teams have a chance to be there at the end, but wins are a necessity. Welcome inside, everyone, here at the Palisades Tennis Club. I'm Lee Sharis, alongside a former world #1, Karina Morario, and a pretty exciting night. The final 2 days of the season. And Springfield, boy, they've been sort of outside the top 2 for a while, but if they can win out their last 2 matches, they've got a shot to play for the King Trophy. Now, the Breakers, it's a little more complicated for them, but they also need the win.
Yeah, well, this match tonight is important. Let's start with that, and then we'll see how things pan out. Springfield obviously controls their own destiny. A lot of other things have to happen for Orange County to make the playoffs, but it would certainly start with a win tonight, as you mentioned. But that's what the great thing about team tennis, especially right now, is that all these teams are in contention for that second spot to play the Freedoms for the King Trophy.
Yeah, the Freedoms have been dominant this season, and a look at the standings will prove that. Of course, the Empire on the other end of the spectrum, but this is where the business end of this league is happening. The Aviators at 7-5, the Lasers at 6-6, the Castles also at 6-6, and the Breakers at 5-7.
Yeah, and the Breakers have had a tough go because they have struggled with some injuries, and the same is the case tonight. Andrea Klepacz is not playing tonight, so they're in with Jacqueline Keiko, who played last night for the Breakers, and that's been the biggest challenge for them. So the team chemistry has been a little bit off with players coming and going.
And the Lasers, their lineup's been solid throughout the season. Vanya King is a former MVP. They got 2 excellent doubles players, Abigail Spears and the Canadian veteran Daniel Lester. Now this young Serbian, Miomir Kekmanovic, he's a wonderful player to watch. Just 18, but he's electric. A nice addition in the men's singles.
And he's going to be taking on Darian King in the singles, who is a substitute for the Breakers, but he's played well for them, brought good energy, good enthusiasm. Wickmeyer's been the stalwart for the Breakers team. She's playing women's singles and women's doubles. She played all 3 events and mixed last night. Yeah. Perhaps a little fatigued as well. So lots of different dynamics going on tonight for the Breakers, but you see Wickmeyer up first 2 events, then Keiko in with Demoliner in the mix, and then men's singles, Rick Leach determining the lineup, determining that he thinks that men's singles is the strongest event considering this matchup.
Yeah, and I think he's also weighing Wickmeyer having played so much tennis the last couple of evenings. I mean, Rick is a pretty crafty guy. He knows this so well. In fact, the Breakers have been in the finals the last 3 seasons. If 4 teams finish 7-7, and it could come down to games, that's sort of the only way the Breakers can get in. But if they can win some matches and some games tonight, perhaps they've got a chance. So you're saying?
There's a chance.
There's a chance. So there is a chance for the Breakers tonight.
Orange County Breakers. This former Breaker and mixed doubles Grand Slam champion is serving as the Breakers assistant coach in 2018. A 6'1" righty from Irvine, California. Please welcome Scott Lipsky.
Yeah, Lipsky recently retired from the ATP. Happy to fill in as an assistant. And because of injuries, he even played 1 match.
Of the year and 9-time Grand Slam doubles champion in his 17th overall WTT season. A 6'2" lefty from Newport Beach, California. Please welcome Rick Lee.
Rick's done a phenomenal job. He had a phenomenal career, and he's done a great job coaching this Breakers team.
Out with an injury tonight, this reigning league MVP helped lead the Breakers to the King Trophy in 2017. A 5'9" righty from Koper, Slovenia, Andrea Klepacz.
Klepacz, instrumental in the Breakers championship win last season. Unfortunate for them that she can't play tonight because of that arm injury.
Player ever from his home country. This 2016 Olympian is a 6'2" righty from Bridgetown, Barbados, Darian King.
Yeah, this guy's got an electric personality and a pretty electric game. Fun to watch.
WTA doubles ranking of world number 84 earlier this year. A 2-time All-American from Arizona State University. A 5'10" righty from Briar, Washington, Jacqueline Keiko. Our 2018 first-round draft pick is playing in his rookie WTT season and reached a career-high doubles ranking of world number 34 in 2017. A 6'4" righty from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, Marcelo Demoliner. This 2017 WTT Rookie of the Year year is returning for her second straight season with the Breakers. A former U.S. Open semifinalist and former world number 12, a 6-foot righty from Hasselt, Belgium, Janina Wickmeyer.
Yeah, Wickmeyer is playing a lot of good tennis this year for the Breakers. And she gets a chance to kick things off. She's taking on Vanya King in the opening set, the women's singles.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
In 1974, we founded a tennis league that was built on innovation, team spirit, and excitement. Now, 4 decades later, we're changing the game again and bringing World Team Tennis into the digital video age. This season, for the first time ever, you can stream every match from World Team Tennis on our new channel, WTT.tv, in high definition and completely free of charge. Check it out at WTT.tv.
Somebody's birthday is coming up. Do you know what you want at your party?
Clowns, Can-Can Girl, Fire Eater, a barbershop quartet, mariachi band, an Oprah lookalike.
It's time to party!
Okay. Which one is your favorite?
A princess. Can the princess bring a camel with her?
Tim shares his jacket.
Don thinks he's kinda nice.
Danny shares with Beth.
On a beach in paradise.
Robert shares his dance moves.
Then he shares a spin.
Victor shares with Emily.
But she's more into Quinn.
Kevin shares a song and the spotlight with Colleen.
Nick shares with Ben's sister, the DJ who's 19.
Deja shares with Curtis.
After her curfew.
Sharing's always better when I share a Coke with you.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
WTT.tv is brought to you by Wilson. Get the best gear in the game. By DecoTurf, official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis and the official surface of the U.S. Open since 1978. By Forevermark. Less than 1% of the world's diamonds are worthy of the Forevermark inscription. Forevermark, a diamond is forever. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save.
World Team Tennis here in Orange County. The Breakers hosting the Springfield Lasers at the Palisades Tennis Club. Beautiful spot right along Jamboree Boulevard here in beautiful Orange County. You see, they hosted a Davis Cup tie many years ago. This really is a distinguished tennis club, long history. Reminder of what World Team Tennis is all about. Most importantly, the sets are to 5 games. Just that 9-point tiebreaker at 4 games all. So that makes it close. Lots of pressure. A couple of big moments will decide the game, the set, and possibly the entire match.
And each game counts, especially in scenarios like this. Obviously, it's a cumulative game, scoring and the official rules and no ad scoring. Things happen so quickly. Substitutions are allowed. Leaf knows all about that. He can elaborate.
Yeah.
He's been substituted many a time.
I have been. And I was a good substitute as well. But we don't see that. Seemingly, I haven't seen many substitutions this season. You know, I think there's people tend to call Geico timeouts, try and get their players, you know, thinking, playing the right way.
Things have to be going pretty dismally for a substitution to occur, but nevertheless, it can happen.
Yeah, that is true. But the key really is being the home coach. You get to set the lineup, and you also get to serve first in the first event, the third event, and the fifth event. So there is something an advantage there.
Janina Wickmeyer for your breakers. Let's hear it for Janina.
And Rick Leach knows it well. 6th year as a coach, and he's one of the few active coaches who's actually won it as a player as well. He won it with the '96 St. Louis Aces. John Lloyd did the same, having won it as a player and a coach. He's for the San Diego Aviators. This is Janina Wickmeyer.
One 0.
6 feet tall, very strong athlete is Wickmeyer. I talked to her before the match, and she was saying how, you know, I played a lot of matches this year. She dropped down and played a lot of ITFs. And just winning matches again has given her confidence, and I think it showed this season.
Well, and she has a great game for this team tennis format. You know, she is able to hit big, able to win a lot of free points. Case in point right there. Inconsistency is sometimes the problem for Wickmeyer.
Game breakers.
Boy, can't ask for a better start than that. Love service game.
And you mentioned the fatigue, and we thought we saw a little of that at the end of the match last night. She played the last 3 events, mixed women's doubles, women's singles, and a lot of wear and tear on your body, of course, over the course of the regular tour season, but even in this condensed format in team tennis where you play a lot of matches in a short amount of time. And she's had to carry a heavy load because of all the injuries on her team. But you can see the kind of tennis that she's capable of. And when she's feeling confident and getting that good first strike in, she's so dangerous.
Of course, Vanya King across the net. She's not a power play, but great speed, great consistency, good two-hander. She can play under pressure. And she's got sort of an all-court game, I guess you could say. Yes, it's ground stroke base, but she's a good volleyer. Excellent doubles player.
Yeah. Takes the ball really early, steps inside the court, and she has good court sense.
Of course, at this stage of the season, when the ball springs off the net, you can see the players are ready to play it. It's no longer a surprise.
2-1.
All right, a little bit of pressure then on King at 2 points all, her opening service game.
And that's exactly what Wickmeyer looks to do, especially on the second serve. That second serve, that was a decent one from Vanya King. It can get a little short in the box, and that's where Wickmeyer is going to certainly look to attack.
3-2.
Yeah, just 90-mile-an-hour serve, but she put it right in the corner. Pretty good placement, and oftentimes that's a great substitution for power. Put it right on the line, maybe in the corner. Yeah, nice pressure off the forehand, up the line. The lasers are on the board.
A really well-constructed point there from Vanya King, using all parts of the court, moving the ball around, and that's exactly what she wants to do. It's not necessarily going to be with pace, but with placement, and keeping Wickmeyer out of position is going to be critical for her tonight.
She's got a little bit of tape or strapping on her right leg, so she's probably feeling a few aches and pains from the season.
And that's where she's so good. She can redirect the ball really nicely, King, and that's where the court sense comes in. She has good awareness of her strengths and her weaknesses and where her opponent is on the court.
Boy, beautifully timed. And I think she anticipated it coming to the backhand side. It's interesting, isn't it, in tennis? You know, you're always taught, oh, go to the backhand. Go to the backhand.
Not as much these days.
No, people have good two-handers. Better go to the forehand sometime. That's what she needed to get on the board. And yeah, you have to recognize
you're
what
showing your age there.
I know. I'm pretty sure that over 60% of the serves go to the backhand.
Yeah.
You know, so you can anticipate that. I think Vanya did that well. But if you're serving, you've got to know to go to the forehand occasionally too on the second.
Well, and a lot of times that is you're trying to get a little more kick on the second serve, especially going to the backhand. That gives you a little more height, clearance over the net. It's a safer serve at times.
But these players with two-handed backhand, I mean, you and I have one-handers.
Then it's go to the backhand.
Go to the backhand then. These two-handers, forget it. Tried to be aggressive and missed it.
I feel like most players these days, especially on the women's side, the backhand is the strength.
Yeah. I think you're right.
You don't have to say I think. You can just outright say it.
It doesn't sound right when I say that. Yeah, and Wickmeyer, you can see, made some adjustments there. She steered it into the King's forehand a little more frequently, gets the game. Just looking at the statistics for the season, Taylor Townsend so far is the best women's singles player. Madison Brangle in second. Wickmeyer and King are third and fourth. Both have winning records, so these two have done very well. In fact, only a game difference in their one loss. So two of the most sort of productive singles players in the women's side of team tennis this year.
We talked about the importance of each and every game, especially in this match tonight for Orange County and for Springfield. I mean, Springfield controls their own destiny like we talked about in the Open. But for Orange County, if they somehow end up 7-7 and tied, it does come down to games won.
Exactly. Hugely significant. Yeah, nice exchange there.
And that is where Wickmeyer plays her best tennis. Obviously, she's first strike, likes to get that first strike. Like, she likes to keep the points short, but when she's playing with that controlled aggression, because she's very capable of it, getting the ball back deep and just getting the ball back in play until she gets the short ball. That's when she's the most dangerous.
Oh, that was just money. Wasn't a bad approach, but the pass was better. And she used a little body English at the end. Watch the running forehand. See, she just, yep, gets it to stay on line.
Nicely done, and that's where Vanya is so comfortable moving forward. That's all the doubles experience that you talked about, Leaf. And she has a sneaky good first serve. You know, she can mix up the placement of her serve. You mentioned that it's not the most powerful, but she can be very accurate with it, and that sets up the point nicely for her.
You like to see a player who, when they've earned that floating ball, they don't wait. They go forward. You know, I'm taking this. You know, show that commitment and determination to be aggressive.
Well, and you have to be comfortable with moving forward.
Yeah.
You know, and she certainly is that. She's looking for opportunities to finish points at the net. Nicely done from Wickmeyer. Taking a page out of Vanya King's book, attacking there.
I don't think I've seen her do that that much. You know, that's really good to see for her.
When we talked about all the doubles that she played during this team tennis season, she's played a lot, getting more comfortable with moving forward and finishing points at the net.
Yeah, there's a good serve right into the corner. This is a deciding point. First one of the evening.
Yeah.
Excellent first serve out wide. It was very deep. Wickmeyer unable to keep it in the court. All right, we're off and running here at the Palisades Tennis Club. 2 games all, women's singles.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to Geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
That's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
Here's Wickmeyer serving. Good aggressive tennis.
And a good shot of that forehand with Wickmeyer's. You know, what she does nicely on that side, she gets a decent amount of topspin, but good enough racket head acceleration that she gives herself clearance over the net, but can still move the ball off the court.
Yeah, she resides now in Hasselt, Belgium. Of course, Belgian tennis so distinguished by Kim Kleisters and Justine Henin, but they've had a real crop of young players doing well now. Geez, that's a good shot. Yeah, I mean, Wickmeyer has played Fed Cup for many years, but she's perhaps a little older, so they're slotting in some of the younger players now. Elise Mertens, Kirsten Flipkins, she's a little bit older. Alison van Uitvank has had a pretty good year. She's inside the top 50. All of them are playing Fed Cup. Good serve there. I mean, Mertens is in the top 20.
Yeah. Well, and Kleisters and Henin just set the tone for that country as far as women's tennis is concerned. And now you see these young players as a result of Kleisters and Ennin in that era, and these young players looking up to those two women and seeing the things that they accomplished in the sport.
And of course, Wickmeyer in 09, semis at the U.S. Open, so she was sort of a standard setter as well in many ways. Yeah. Wickmeyer, 5 career titles, almost $5 million in prize money. It's a pretty good career. She's just 28 years of age.
It is interesting how the dynamic has changed, where you said she's just 28 years of age, where so many players now are finding their best tennis at a later age, where it used to be if you were 28 and 29, you were
near in the
sailing into the sunset.
That's right. Gosh, the women have changed it. You know, the men are playing into their 30s. I mean, women are going and having a family, coming back, and why not? The money's great. The lifestyle's great. And I think the more income that you can earn, obviously it's more comfortable to travel with a family. You can make those kinds of things happen. Of course, Vanya King was away for the game for almost a year because of injuries, but she's playing her way back now. Oh, that was a good play from King, but a better one from Wickmeyer. She stuck her tongue out. That was like Michael Jordan.
A great defense here from Wickmeyer. Great volley from Vanya, just didn't cover the line. That was pretty much the only place that Wickmeyer could have gone with that pass.
Excellent play. This time it's King sneaking into volley away.
And again, just a beautifully placed backhand, able to get it within a couple inches of that sideline and immediately moving forward.
Vanya King takes the game. Of course, earlier this year, Vanya King announced that she was releasing a song, and you can check it out if you're into it. It's a cover of the song Rain by Patty Griffin, and she's recorded it, went out and got into a sound studio and had her producer lay it down. She's got a beautiful voice. And I believe at the championship match of World Team Tennis, she sang the national anthem.
0-1.
Of course, she's made over $4 million in prize money, so if the tennis doesn't work out, she can fall back on the music. It's tough to, find your way through.
Multi-talented.
Yeah, tough to find your way through with over $4 million in prize money. Great career she's having.
Good composure here from Wickmeyer. Not trying to do too much with that shot. That's a great shot. King that time moving over to cover the line, which is exactly what she needed to do. Wickmeyer there had a little bit of extra time, but nonetheless a beautifully executed forehand angle. That's one of her best shots, that forehand cross court.
Game point for the Breakers. So they get to 4-3. So time for King and the Lasers to serve, maybe force a 9-point tiebreak here in the evening's opening event.
4-3. One more game gets us to 5 and takes the first set. So we'll have a break coming up here.
Of course, the music, always a big part of World Team Tennis. Fill in some of the blanks. This is not the All England Club. This is a little bit different.
Keep trying to get us to show your dance, show us your dance moves up here, but
yeah, they seem
so far to no avail.
No, well, we've been focusing on yours. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad.
Yet to be determined.
Tried to come forward, couldn't convert the volley.
And she's had success, and that's her game. She certainly likes to move forward, likes to play close to the baseline and give herself the opportunities to finish points at the net.
Yeah, she got there.
Good anticipation there from Wickmeyer. And that's critical for her. You know, she's tall, not the most explosive mover, but quite capable in her movement and are obviously very athletic. Just not quite as quick off the mark as some of the other players, but they're anticipated beautifully, kept that racket head out in front.
Wow. Now she's saving her best for last. Here's Love 3. These are set points.
Come on, let's hear it for Yanina. Great opportunity.
But whatever she had for dinner, she should have it again because something's going right today for her. Everything looks good. Set points. All right, the Breakers, thanks to Yanina Wickmeyer, take the opening set 5-3. Impressive set.
Absolutely, and just what the Breakers needed. Coach Leach knew what he was doing, putting Wickmeyer up first.
Good start for the home side.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham, into the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams. Nice.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure. What pressure? The players on the...
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Somebody's birthday is coming up. Do you know what you want at your party?
Klein's Can-Can Girl, Fire Eater, a barbershop quartet, mariachi band, an Oprah lookalike.
It's time to party!
Okay.
Which one is your favorite?
A princess. Can the princess bring a camel with her?
Well, back at the Palisades Tennis Club, for a long time known as the John Wayne Club. John Wayne, the famous movie actor, was a resident of this area and big tennis fan. There are pictures of John Wayne alongside Ken Stewart, the owner and developer of this club over the years. Ken Stewart inducted into the Southern California Tennis Hall of Fame last year, along with guys like Rod Laver and Bobby Riggs. So pretty elite company for Ken. Congratulations, obviously, to him. And you can see the familiar World Team Tennis court is laid down right here in the center court. Women's doubles is Wickmeyer, and our first look at Jacqueline Keiko. A substitute at the end of the season as Andrea Klepacz is injured. On the other side of the net, that's Abigail Spears serving.
1-0.
And that's been tough for Keiko to come into this season with a lot on the line, make her team tennis debut at this level. And she hasn't played quite as much at this level throughout her career, and especially given this condensed format, it's definitely a challenge. Nicely done, but she acquitted herself well last night. She only played the one set of women's doubles. She's got good feel, good court sense. It's more a matter of just being put in this position time and time again.
Yeah, Keiko's played primarily ITFs. You know, won a couple singles. She's won 11 doubles titles in the ITF, 16 finals. So she's very comfortable there, and Spears got caught. She was outside that service line. Tough to volley from there.
And you feel like Keiko will feel more comfortable tonight. She played with Wickmeyer last night. You know, she's seen the court. She knows the format. She's been in this position before. Has a little bit of experience to draw on tonight. This is not an easy position to be thrust into. I mean, you're playing for a team, you're playing these no-ad points, things move so fast, it does take some adjusting.
Yeah, and the team has got playoff aspirations, although they might be chancy, they still have an outside chance.
3-2.
Of course, Abigail Spears has been playing great doubles throughout her entire career. Semifinalist at Wimbledon most recently. She was playing with Alicia Rosalska, a Polish player. They also won Nottingham, so she likes the grass.
3-0.
All right. 3-0. It's the time to make some noise for our breakers.
It looks like she was caught in between coming in or staying back there. So they're getting their game plan right. What would you recommend? Serving and volleying, serving and staying back?
I would serve and volley. They're playing I here. That's what I would recommend. And that's what you look to do when you're playing Australian like that, to have your partner, or I formation, to have your partner make that first serve, and then for King at the net to be able to pick off the volley.
Yeah, Spears hits a pretty hard first serve.
Yeah, that's exactly right. She has a very good first serve, and that's part of why she's such a great doubles player.
Yeah, a little conference time as these teams get their plans right. One last thing on Spears, she's got over 500 match wins. I mean, I knew she was an accomplished player, but that's a lot of winning tennis. Plus 21 titles. Boy, that's excellent play, and you can see why. Instant pressure with the return.
Yeah, and you talked about, when you asked me the question about serving and volleying, it totally depends on the player. I feel like Spears is always more comfortable moving forward. She is good at the net, and for her to keep applying that forward pressure is important. We just saw it. The return immediately came in.
Boy, Keiko with a nice reflex volley to save the point.
And she was ready. You know, that's exactly what she needs to be out there today. Racket head out in front. She knows she's going to get a lot of shots directed at her. And Spears and King both, they stand very close to the baseline, if not inside the baseline, especially on the second serve return. And they do put pressure on you, not just with their returns, but with their attacking stance on the return.
And if your opponents are standing in, you know, get that first serve in. And that's what Wickmeyer did there, challenge them. 2 points all.
All right, put your hands together.
Now a couple of double faults in the game, and the Lasers got a chance.
All right, a Geico timeout.
Yeah, this is interesting. Now it's de Jager, coach of the Lasers, I believe is the one who called the timeout initially. I think that's to disrupt Wickmeyer even more.
That's exactly right, and we've seen that a lot this season, where icing the kicker, just give them a little time to think, especially on an important point. And Wickmeyer serving, and she's thrown in a couple double faults this game. I guess it would be icing the server. Great serve there from Wickmeyer up the tee. She's definitely had more success serving up the tee, not quite as comfortable serving on the do side, especially.
Well, Keiko just didn't do enough with the volley, and that cost the Breakers.
Yeah, and that's what's tough, you know, with two players as experienced and accomplished as King and Spears. You know, they're going to reflex those back. If you don't get enough stick on the volley, they are going to absolutely get them back.
Yeah, that was a good play to keep it alive by King, and then Spears with that nice finishing touch. So a break in the women's doubles. I mean, Spears and King, two of the best in the league in doubles. That's a better finish by Keiko. And you know, when it happens to you, that's when you are immediately reminded, I got to do more with the volley. I mean, how the point turns out if you hit something in the net, you can learn from your mistakes. And did a good job there finishing. There's love, too.
0-2.
Vanya King does a good job on her serve in both singles and doubles of mixing up the placement. She doesn't get caught too often going with one significant pattern.
Yeah, another example of that serve, how it skids and stays pretty low. Tricky delivery. Gets them back to 2 points all. And you'll notice again tonight we've got the Hawkeye Live, the 12 cameras calling the lines. And that's what the cameras saw. And we have automated voices that call out the calls. We've got men's and women's voices. It's kind of weird not to have lines people out there.
It's definitely different.
3-all. Game point, receiver's choice.
Leave it to Team Tennis to be that innovative. That's where King and Spears have been so effective. That serve from Vanya and Abigail Spears doing her work at the net.
Ooh, she hit it well, but found the tape. So the Lasers hang on to the break advantage. Dodged a couple of break points there, did Vanya King. So that's good game for them. Yeah, some of the innovations, obviously playing the let. You got the names on the back of the shirts. You got the multicolored courts. So just a different environment. Obviously, the crowd is, urged to participate. Get active, shout your support, and obviously the music between points is something pretty nice.
And we saw last night one of the advantages of playing at home is that the crowd does get into it. We saw that with the Breakers playing the Aviators last night, especially down the home stretch where the Aviators would win a point. And we saw some great tennis, and there'd be silence.
Keiko, 26 years of age, played college tennis at Arizona State. Oh, too bad. Good decision to go straight ahead. Just missed it.
Tried to get a little more stick, more pace on that volley.
Keiko's out of Briere, Washington, just north of Seattle, small city of Briere. Good return, 2 points all. Yeah, she used to drive down to Tacoma when she was young to play with some of the guys in their teens. She was playing pretty advanced tennis. One of the best players to come out of the Pacific Northwest. Boy, Spears hit some good returns.
Well, look, she's standing so far inside the baseline, and it doesn't have to take her long to get into the net, and that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on her opponents.
Yeah, the Lasers got a real chance here to get a fourth game. Yeah, there's Spears again, and it was King who set her up with a nice return. So the Lasers getting out of the block strongly here. 4-love in the women's doubles, and that makes it 7-5 in the match score.
So you just walk around telling people Geico could help them save money on car insurance?
Yeah, that, and homeowners, renters, motorcycle and boat insurance.
Huh. That's nice. What happens when you catch a fish?
Geico. More than just car insurance. See how much you could save at geico.com.
I'm okay.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same.
Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots
And close shaves.
of wins for the history books. And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness
Greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
All right, here's Abigail Spears serving at 4-love, trying to close out this women's doubles. And off to a great start. Boy, King and Spears have been doing some good things out here.
Yeah, and you can just see how comfortable they are playing together. We talk about the importance of team chemistry and the camaraderie and playing together throughout a season. We're seeing evidence of that tonight.
Yeah, Spears grew up just down the road. She was in Bonita, right near San Diego, before ultimately moving up to Colorado Springs. So at heart, she's a California girl. Looks like she enjoys these hard courts, that's
no
for
question.
certain. Couple of aces out wide to help get her to 2-1. Remember, the Lasers trying to win tonight. If they can win tomorrow night, they could play for the King Trophy.
King's positioning at the net, we talked about this last night, how close she is to it. You know, so she's so prepared to cover a lot of ground, keeps her racket head out in front. She's got good hands, good reaction time. Able to pick off those volleys after her partner drops in those big serves.
Going for the trifecta, 3 aces out wide. Just missed it. So second double fault of the game. So it's 3-2, still set point. Yeah, and here's deciding point.
Each game, each point, so important, critical at this point in the season. Great job from the Breakers fighting back in this game. Deciding point, Wigmeyer will take the return.
Oh no. 3 set points and 3 double faults. Well, that could be significant. You know, you look back at the end of the match, you look back to the moments during the match that could have changed things. That was maybe a little swing there, 1 or 2 games.
And you never know how that impacts the rest of the set,
Yeah.
because we talk about how quickly momentum can shift in this format.
King is able to finish. Excellent point.
Not sure it was completely flush on the racket, but a beautifully executed volley nonetheless. Good body serve there, especially effective against Spears and King, that body serve, because they do crowd the baseline so much. Harder for them to get out of the way of that serve.
Yeah, King called it, but you just couldn't quite catch up to it. Well, Keiko made a nice move, but the second volley, she just couldn't do enough with it.
Yeah, she's making a lot of the right moves, and this is a great experience for her. But you're exactly right, just not doing quite enough with the volley, and at this level against players that are so good at the net and have such good hands, you have to do more with that.
2 points all.
3-2.
Nothing like a first serve to get you out of trouble, get your nose ahead, and possibly get you another game here. That's a better volley by Keiko, and she's pumping her fist there. They have to be happy just to get those 2 games.
Yeah, no question. And the total game score now tied 7-7.
Yeah, now they've got a little bit of momentum, and maybe the Lasers are feeling a bit of pressure. Yeah, the coaches are walking around suddenly feeling a little nervy. You know, it's 7 games all. It could have been 8-5 just a moment ago. So it.
Yeah, 3 set points.
Yeah, it's
for
a
Spears and King.
5-game swing, right?
They hit 3-1 on Spears' serve.
Yeah, 3 set points. Here's Vanya King trying to close it out on her serve. Spears.
1-0.
I mean, I just want to clarify something for the 2018 season. I think it might be a record this year. We've had 4 Kings playing in the league. We've got Vanya King, who's doing a great job tonight. Kevin King for Philadelphia. Darian King is playing for the Breakers. And then we also had Evan King, who played for the Breakers just last week.
And they're playing for which trophy?
I think it's the King Trophy. So 5 Kings. We just need a little BB King music in the background, and the whole atmosphere will be complete. So here's 1 point all with the double fault. Yeah, now this is what's called, they're challenging it, saying it's a carry. And a carry is where you intentionally drag the ball across the net.
But the rule is if it's in one fluid motion, that it counts, right?
You know, maybe we'll be able to get a replay on that while we take a Geico timeout. Tell us what you think. Is this a carry?
Let's see. Oh, so tough to tell from that angle.
Yeah, I think it was a legit volley.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I think it was
the chair
a legit
umpire
volley.
was sitting right on it.
That's right. Marilyn Baker does a pretty good job here, and she's having a conversation with some of the Breakers about maybe a good restaurant in the area? No, not that.
Well, now that we have the electronic line calling with Hawkeye Live, we don't see many of these exchanges anymore.
This is the only angle we have of this.
Yeah.
Take another look. Yeah, see, I'd probably say that was good.
That's a tough one. It looked like she dropped her racket at the last second, so I could see how there's an argument to be made for the fact that it was a double hit.
Yeah, you can see Vanya talking with Yanina about it. I mean, it's the kind of thing. When you do it, do you feel like it's?
No,
like
it's happening so fast.
Yeah.
It's just reaction because you're just instinctive out there, so you're just reacting to the ball. It's hard for her to
suddenly say, "Oh, I carried that."
Yeah.
Right? I mean, it's you
No,
kind
you
of know
can't.
if you get to a ball in one bounce, right? You know
Yes.
that. But that one is tough to call on yourself.
No way should she call that on herself.
Right.
I mean, that was legitimate in her effort. It was just a judgment call. The chair umpire was sitting right on it, and we talk about another momentum shift. That one's significant. And the time that the breakers took to argue that call, giving the Lasers a little time to regroup.
Boy, Keiko living a little bit dangerously there. She didn't put the first one away, but got the second one. Good job. Still set point for the Lasers. Oh, net cord. Unbelievable.
Receiver's choice. Wickmeyer going to take the return.
It's
high drama.
Set point number 6. How many set points are we going to have? And of course, that alleged carry's getting people a bit agitated down on court. And there it is. Vanya King bounces that one up into the stands. Not sure she's completely happy with how things have gone, but her side won the women's doubles. So she'll be happy with that. 5-2, they take it. So they finish out the two events up 8-7.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
In 1974, we founded a tennis league that was built on innovation, team spirit, and excitement. Now, 4 decades later, we're changing the game again and bringing World Team Tennis into the digital video age. This season, for the first time ever, you can stream every match from World Team Tennis on our new channel, WTT.tv, in high definition and completely free of charge. Check it out at WTT.tv.
Somebody's birthday is coming up. Do you know what you want at your party?
Clowns, Can-Can Girl, Fire Eater, a barbershop quartet, mariachi band, an Oprah lookalike.
It's time to party!
Okay. Which one is your favorite?
A princess. Can the princess bring a camel with her?
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Back in beautiful Newport Beach, California, just along the Back Bay, Palisades Tennis Club. Really is a sweet part of the country. The weather here is just remarkable.
I know we're complaining about the increase in humidity.
Yeah, I think it's something like 350 days of sunshine. Not lying in Newport Beach.
The rest of the country is cringing as I say that.
Yeah, this is a beautiful spot. Obviously, the Palisades Tennis Club, one of the more popular clubs in the area. And I've been hosting Breakers tennis for a number of years. I mean, the Breakers have been around 16 years. They even had 5 years when they were the Newport Beach Dukes back in 1990 to 94. So there's always a wonderful history around the teams that have been a part of World Team Tennis. 6 teams this year. Of course, Mark Ein and Fred Luddy, the owners of World Team Tennis, hoping to expand next year. The aim is to ultimately add more teams and get more top players involved. So looking forward to the developments that Mark Ein and Fred Luddy are looking to make happen. There's Marcelo de Molinaire. He's alongside Darian King for the Breakers. He's serving to Misha Kekmanovic and Daniel Nestor. Kekmanovic in the deuce court, returning.
De Molinaire certainly stepped up the level of his play in the last couple matches and gotten more consistent with his returns especially.
Of course, the man in the ad court, Daniel Nestor. If you follow doubles at all, you know who he is. A guy who's won over 1,000 doubles matches. You know, Roger Federer, some of these guys have surpassed 1,000 singles. This guy's done it in doubles, along with Mike and Bob Bryan, but he's one of the all-time greats out of Toronto, Canada. And he's one of the rare breeds, although we are seeing more of it, of players who are playing into their 40s. I mean, Nestor's 45. Although he has said this might be his last year. Leander Paes is also still active. Bob and Mike Bryan. Of course, Mike Bryan winning Wimbledon alongside Jack Sock. Jack Sock played for the Lasers this year. A wild card, a couple of matches. So here's Nestor serving as de Molinaire is able to hang on to his serve. 4th season of World Team Tennis.
1-0.
And one reason why the Lasers have been so good, Vanya King, a former MVP. Daniel Nestor, also a former MVP, played for the Philadelphia Freedoms back in '06. So he's got some experience in this discipline.
Well, it certainly helps to have successful doubles players on your team, given that 3 of the events are in doubles. And that's the beauty of team tennis, is that you get to see all 5 events that we have in the sport all in one night.
Yeah, Nestor's partner is Misha Kekmanovic out of Serbia. Interesting that Misha and Dan both born in Belgrade.
3-1.
Of course, Nestor emigrated to Canada with his family in the mid-70s. Kekmanovic, just a teenager, he's still out of Serbia. But his idol, not surprisingly, Novak Djokovic. And I asked him, does Novak text you and keep in touch with him? He said, yeah, he does. And obviously, the Serbian tennis community is growing, you know, with the influence of Novak. Good serve.
We talk about the importance of successful players setting the tone for the next generation. We talked about that with Henin and Kleisters in Belgium.
Yeah,
certainly the case in Serbia as well.
Exactly. And here's Kekmanovic, 18 years old, playing with a guy like Daniel Nestor. You know, he's bumping up against generational players.
1-0.
That's another cool thing about team tennis is that you do get to play with experienced players, pick up some tips, some of that knowledge, that vast experience and knowledge, and you spend a lot of time together in this season. I remember one of the seasons towards the tail end of my career playing with Caroline Wozniacki when she was 15 years old.
Really?
Came off the finals of the junior Wimbledon. And just, she was like a sponge. It was so cool to watch. She was so receptive and really enjoyed the whole experience. Azarenka played that year as well, and they were the same age.
I think Azarenka played in Sacramento. Yeah, you can look at the list of players over the years. It's on WTT.com. They've got a list of all the players, and it is long, extensive. Oh, he's got to make that one. He set it up well with the lob.
Man, it's a great atmosphere to see some big names in the sport and to see them close up, to get involved, to be able to see them in a different setting.
Yeah, the Breakers are #1 in terms of men's doubles. Really having a great year. Here's a look at Kekmanovic, 18 years of age. Nice work by Darian King.
And good return, setting up that point from Demoliner, stepping in, ripping that backhand deep.
That cross-court forehand, it just seems like everyone has it.
Yep.
I mean, I'm not diminishing the great shot he produced, but with the strings these days, that's why it's so tough to attack the net. These guys just gun these passing shots. Boy, what a return.
Was that a two-handed return?
It happened so fast, I didn't even see it. 2 points out. Let's take a look.
Pseudo two-handed return. He kept that second hand on the throat of the racket.
Yeah, there's Nestor. He's got to get involved in some of these balls in the middle, and he did a great job there.
And that's all that doubles experience, recognizing when you need to do a little bit more.
Game Blazers.
All right, the Lasers take the game. The first 4 games of the men's doubles is split evenly. 10-9 Springfield.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
At least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
That's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Nearing the end of the World Team Tennis season, tonight and tomorrow night are the last regular season matches. And at the end of that, we'll have the 2 teams that will play off for the King Trophy.
It's fun that there's still so much on the line for all these teams, except the Empire. They're out. Obviously, the Freedoms have secured their spot, but the rest of the team's still in the hunt to play the Freedoms for the King Trophy.
Zero.
122-mile-an-hour serve there from Demolinair.
And Demolinair has really improved his level of play over the course of the season. That's what you like to see in a player, you know, growth. He's done that. I always felt his serve was his strength, and he's doing that well. But his returns were a little bit sketchy at the start of the year, but he really has played well in that regard now. But then again, that's part of what team tennis is all about, right?
That's exactly what I was going to say, just getting into the rhythm of it. It's sometimes hard, and it's also hard. We haven't talked much about it. You're sitting on the bench a lot of times. You're waiting to play. You're supporting your teammates. There is some tension. It's definitely an atmosphere that you need to get used to. Part of it from coach's perspective is knowing your players. Are they better playing right out the gate? Are they better closers? And that's the beauty of being the home team, is that you can determine the lineup.
Yeah, and you get a chance to work on things. You know, work on your returns, work on your volleys, your transition plays, whatever it might be. You got a coach with you for 3 weeks, and you have a wonderful support team around you. Wants you to do well, gets involved. Some little pressure on Nestor here. Second serve to King.
2-1.
Nestor's won all the major titles. He's won all 9 Masters Series events. Oh, Demolinair looking good.
And that's exactly what you were just talking about, Leaf, how much more comfortable he's looked as this season has gone on. Beautiful lob there, and just unbelievable court coverage. You know, he has those long arms,
Sure
able
does.
to cover so much ground.
Coach DeYager having a little fun, saying, "Way to hit him, boys! Way to hit him." It's
Got him right in the leg.
Yeah, it's kind of an awkward shot. You want to go at the guy. Obviously, you're not trying to hurt him.
Well, you understand that. That wasn't a sitter. That wasn't an easy shot. And he got him on the bounce. So he was definitely trying to go to his feet.
Hey, nothing's easy when you're 45. Oh, here's a deciding point on the Nestor serve. The Breakers trying to get a break.
All right, gotta make some noise for our Breakers now. It's 3-all. Deciding point, right on the string.
Game Breakers. Breakers lead 4 games to 2.
That's the way we like it.
Now there is the break.
That's really got to hurt for the Breakers to lose Nestor's serve and in that fashion. Credit to the Breakers, though, and Demolinaire, you know, the confidence that he has on the return now. We talked about him struggling with that shot a little bit, and now he's the one taking the deciding point return.
Yeah. He's growing as a player. Darren King trying to close it out. Oh, boy.
1-0.
Yeah, Kekmanovic. He's got some nice racket head speed on the ground. He's got some good qualities. Very competitive. We'll see him in the singles later.
Great return there. And that backhand is just so solid. Short backswing, very technically sound, not a lot that can go wrong with his shot.
There's a look at the Hawkeye. Geico timeout. As the Breakers are just a couple of points away. And Leach, I'm sure, let's do the right things here, guys. I mean, Demolinaire is such a force at the net with those long arms. I mean, it's just moving so well. He's sort of a Brazilian Max Mirny. Tall, long arms. All right, here we go. Darian King, he's out of Bridgetown, Barbados.
Just solid tennis from the breakers there. Good first serve, making the first volley, force your opponents to come up with a better shot. Not giving away any free points.
Nestor finds it. He's been struggling, but he found it on that return, saves the set point, forces the decider.
Time to put your hands together. You gotta do it right now. It is 3-all. This is the deciding point. Game point and set point. Can't let this get away.
Oh, it was a good deep volley.
Clutch volley there from King. Got so much pace on that, got it back deep. Nicely done there.
Yeah, Kekmanovic made him play the volley, and King did. The breakers get to 12-10. They've got 2 of the first 3 events. We're headed to halftime here at the Palisades.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham. Enter the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams. Nice.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure. What pressure? The players on the...
WTT.TV is brought to you by Citi. Welcome What's Next.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Palisades Tennis Club. Lee Shirus and Karina Mararia with you for, well, the second to last day of the regular season as we're making our way to the King Trophy match on August 5th. Of course, the Philadelphia Freedoms are the #1 seed. 4 teams are trying to play their way into the #2 spot. That's why tonight and tomorrow night are so important for so many people. And as usual, get the kids involved at halftime. See how this youngster serves. I'm worried about her grip. What do you think?
Still young. I remember having that grip.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I remember having to change it and the torture that ensued.
Hey, you became a Wimbledon champ.
So this long time to figure it out.
Could be a future Wimbledon champion right here. All right, so it's halftime. It's 12-10. All the players here tonight are competing to win the Forevermark Most Valuable Player Award, and it's going to be decided at the end of the season. Here's a look at this special honor for the best male and female players in World Team Tennis.
Players from 14 countries across 6 different teams, 43 matches over 3 weeks. Who will make their mark in the race for the championship and the coveted King Trophy? This year's most valuable players, 1 male, 1 female. The Forevermark MVP Awards unfold during the World Team Tennis Finals.
Yeah, it's always interesting to follow a season and then see which players are recognized at the end of it for their many achievements. You get the feeling that Taylor Townsend might be the female MVP with what she's accomplishing. But just a quick reminder, Sunday, August 5th, 2 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN3 and ESPN2, we'll have the WTT Finals. Philadelphia is looking good. I mean, they've got to be the heavy favorite going in, right?
Yeah, there's no question. So much confidence going into that championship match. But having said that, you know, in the final match with this format, there's a lot that can happen.
Yeah.
Momentum can shift. I mean, we've seen it time and time again in these matches during the regular season.
Philadelphia won earlier today over the New York Empire, who've been really snake-bit this year. They've lost 3 super tie breaks, many close matches, and that's added up to 1-12. But the Freedoms have been the story, and the other 4 teams, San Diego, Springfield, DC, and OC, all in with a shot tonight. Of course, winning is going to be at a premium. San Diego can win out, they're in. If Springfield wins out, the next two, they're in. The Castles, well, they've got to win and maybe see what happens with other sort of combinations of things unfolding. If there are 4 teams at 7-7 in 2 days' time, it's going to come down to games won.
Yep. And that's why we talked about the importance of winning each and every game in these matches. Obviously, a lot of these teams need to win their individual matches, but games are going to count as well.
Here's some young tennis players being acknowledged here. I believe they're out of Huntington. And here's a reminder of what's still to come. We'll have the mixed doubles, and then we'll close out the evening with the men's singles. Looking forward to see Darian King taking on the youngster, the Serbian, Kecmanovic. That's going to be a good one. But so far, it's the Breakers who have won 2 of 3 sets, and they've got a 2-game lead, 12-10. Some young people being recognized here tonight. We'll be back with more tennis from Newport Beach.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
World Team Tennis from Orange County. Got to congratulate the Breakers on another great season. It's always fun to be a part of their matches. They're so organized, the people are so helpful. Congratulations again to Eric Davidson, who is the owner. Of course, he took over the team last year, and they won it. He's probably thinking, this ownership thing's a dream.
It's a good gig.
I get a team, and they win it. And now I'm, popping champagne all over the place. Anyways, they're still alive, playing for a spot. Of course, the Springfield Lasers also a great franchise. They play at this beautiful Cooper Tennis Complex in Springfield, and they've got a wonderful stadium court, a sunken court in the middle of this great tennis center.
Yeah, both great organizations.
Yeah, they've got minor league baseball in the town. Yeah, Springfield's a great town. Springfield's been around 23 years, one of the longest running teams this year. They've been to the finals 5 times, and they've never won it. And you wonder, maybe, is it their year this time? They lost to Sacramento one year back in '99. They lost to Philadelphia. And then 3 of their losses were to the Castles, when the Castles were on that brilliant run with Leander Paes and Martina Hingis and all these sort of talented players that they had in their roster. And it says a lot about John Lafferty de Jager. He's a South African originally, but a wonderful guy and a wonderful sort of captain of this team. 12th season with the Lasers. He's been their one sort of stalwart, the guy you can count on year to year as players come and go. But they've had some great MVP players over the years, too. Jean-Julien Roger, Vanya King, Martin Dahm was an MVP, Czech player. Tana Sugarin, remember her?
Tamarine.
Tamarine,
yep.
Yes.
That's going back to my era, Leaf.
Yeah, back in 2007. And de Jager's been a 3-time Coach of the Year, so they've had some great players. They've just missed getting the golden ring, the King Trophy. But maybe this is their year if they can find a way through tonight and win again tomorrow. Of course, Bob Ballard and Paul Nannon is a GM. Bob Ballard is the owner rep. They do a great job in Springfield. Didn't get into Springfield this year. I've been there the last few years. I always enjoy going there. But nice to be in Newport Beach, too.
Yeah, both Springfield and Newport Beach. All these teams take such great care of their players. Great organizations to play for. It really is, as a player, it's a fun experience to be able to play for a team, to travel as a team. It's such a unique thing that you don't get to do on the regular tour.
Yeah, and these coaches and the teams, they want the best for their players. They want to see them improve. They want to see you win, of course, yes. But it's all about improving and getting better. So, well, mixed doubles coming up. Daniel Nestor, Abigail Spears, Marcelo Demoliner, Jacqueline Keiko. It's funny to see that name, Demoliner. It's a French name, but he's from Brazil. And he told me his middle name is Italian. I'm not sure what to make of Marcella. He's a good man, though. Here's Daniel Nestor serving first.
1-0.
Good start out wide.
This will be Jacqueline Keiko's first experience playing mixed doubles in team tennis. Last night was just in the lineup for women's doubles.
Right down the tee. Ooh, it's an excellent return. But the Lasers get the game. You can see the match score is now 12-11. So this set's an important one because it sets up the score for the final event, the men's singles.
It's only fitting you feel that this match is as closely contested as it is, given the little distance between these teams. Keiko really throughout this season, the couple matches that she's played, she's doing all the right things. You know, she's moving the right way, just not quite getting enough stick on those volleys. That was a better job. Higher over the net, so a little bit of an easier shot, but I like her court presence. I like the way she tries to move the right way. She also happens to be matched up against some very accomplished doubles players with phenomenal hands.
Exactly.
And we've seen that on display tonight.
Yeah, sometimes you've got to produce a couple of those. If that's your strength, you better do it.
And that's the beauty of Demolinaire's serve, is that he does have that beautiful kick serve. That's one of his biggest weapons, but then he can mix it up with some more pace.
Three-two.
3-2. Game point for Marcelo and Jacqueline.
Yeah, that time Nestor was waiting for that high kicker.
Okay, fans, this is time to put your hands together.
Good low return, and he's got a deciding point. This is a key moment for both these teams. Couple of great returns from Nestor.
And that's tough, is that kick serve from Demolinaire goes right into the forehand for Daniel Nestor. Nestor is rifling a couple forehand returns, getting them down low at Demolinaire's feet, and knows that he's not going to feel too much pressure from Keiko at the net, so feels like he has a lot more room to hit into.
Yeah.
Abigail Spears to serve.
Yeah, Spears won the mixed doubles at the Australian Open last year. So she made a breakthrough, Grand Slam success.
Wow.
There we go.
Abigail Spears played 1 year of college tennis. I was at UCLA. Of course, Keiko was at Arizona State. It's a little Pac-12 showdown here as well. Good serve.
2-1.
And that serve is part of why Spears has been so successful in doubles. When she has that serve going, able to win a lot of free points with that shot.
Yeah, good heavy return. Demolinais has played Davis Cup for Brazil. He had a win in doubles this year. He played with Marcelo Melo, who's an excellent doubles player. So he's grown as a player. He's 29 years of age. He's coming to the game, won his first title this year, making some real strides with his tennis. So Keiko's getting some good advice. See if she can translate that into action here.
Another great second serve from Abby Spears.
Sure was. Second serve out wide. It takes a bit of courage.
Sliding that serve out wide, getting a lot of movement off the court. Great court coverage there from Nestor. That first serve for Spears so important, especially when she's serving to Demolinais, just to get that serve in play. Let Nestor do some work at the net.
The other night, Marcelo put his hand to his ear, meaning he wanted to hear support and hear the noise. Let's hear it for our breakers right now.
Now the breakers could use a bit of help. You can hear our PA announcer trying to get the crowd urging their side on. It's Jacqueline Keiko will serve.
1-0.
Keiko played in Surprise, Arizona, got to the doubles final, lost to Wickmeyer in the doubles final. So she looks across the net and sees a familiar face. Wickmeyer played with Masaki Doi.
Great move there from Demolinais. Missed two of those backhands down the line with the right play. Had them both times, just missed. Again, smart for Spears to just take that return up the line, keep Demolinais honest.
Game breakers.
Yep, an important game to get something going for the breakers here in the mixed doubles. They're down a break, down 3-1.
Fans, a quick shout out for our host.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
At least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
That's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Daniel Nestor serving for the Lasers. They're up 3-1 here in the mixed doubles. Boy, they're working nicely together. Nestor and Abigail Spears, two very accomplished players. And I was talking about Daniel Nestor, some of the achievements, over 1,000 matches won. He's won all the majors, including 4 Roland Garros, won all 9 Masters Series. He's got a gold medal at the Olympics. Did you put him in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, the question, that question.
It's an easy one.
Oh, Leaf always putting me on the spot.
Good hands there.
It's weird. Doubles is so tricky for the Hall of Fame. I mean, singles is tricky for the Hall of Fame. I feel like that's just the never-ending question. What qualifies someone for that?
Yep. Well, I mean, you know, Pam Shriver's in. We were sitting with Mark Woodford last night with Todd Woodbridge. They went in together. Gigi Fernandez along with Natasha Zvereva. They went in.
Yeah, there's no question that those seem a little more cut and dry.
Yep. Yeah, when you have like 6 or 7 Wimbledons, you know, those kinds of things. But
I mean, Woodford had Grand Slam, the career Grand Slams in doubles and mixed doubles, a singles career.
Yep. That's pretty amazing, right?
What was his career high in singles? It was top 20.
Yeah. I want to say, yeah, top 20. Not top 10, but top 20.
Yeah.
Boy, what a serve. Excellent game from Nestor. Another game.
The bottom line has been an amazing career.
He sure has. And it's a wonderful conversation to have. I'm a voter on the Hall of Fame.
Okay,
and
so what's your opinion, Leaf?
Well, I think I might vote him in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Helena Sukova went in this year. And you know, she had over 1,500 matches won in singles and doubles. You know, she's an amazing career. A lot of doubles achievement, but also exceptional singles, but never won a major.
That's sometimes
singles.
A factor as well. I mean,
yeah.
Gigi Fernandez, Natasha Zvereva, Pam Shriver, all those players, Woodbridge, Woodford.
A fair amount of singles
all top
achievement.
20 in singles?
Yep, I think so. Well, then there's the, you know, Peter Fleming, you know, 55 doubles, got to 6th in the world in singles. So, and he's not in.
What about Leif Shiras?
Well, I buy my tickets to get into the hall. It's a great place to visit.
You vote.
Yeah. This guy, Demolinaire, is playing pretty impressively.
3-0 game point for our Breakers.
And these are important games. They're down 4-1, but they could use this one to get to 4-2 and take a swing at Spears' serve.
Breakers.
All right, so 14 games all.
4-2 in this set for the Lasers, and that we talked about Demolinaire's serve, and we've seen that kick serve so often, and Nair just brings the heat, moving it through the court to Nestor's forehand. Great change of pace there. Increase of pace, I should say.
Oh, Keiko's best return of the night. She got outside that forehand And maybe Spears went to the well once too often out wide. Watch this return. It's coming right back at you.
Well, that's where Spears has gone to out wide to that forehand one too many times. That time Keiko's sitting on it.
And remember, you keep the souvenirs if the ball flies out of the court.
Demolitioner had a little too much time on that one. Way too much time to think about it. Wants that one back, no question.
Now there's Nestor stepping up. He's right on top of the net there. So 2-1. Yeah, pretty crafty finish.
Demoliner on his volleys does such a good job of keeping that racket head out in front and keeping that wrist firm, very technically sound on those shots. Better serve there, just mixing it up a little bit. And that wide serve is so effective for Spears, but at this level you just can't keep going to it time and time again.
So here is a set point for Spears and the Lasers. Oh, what a return. That was just money.
Great anticipation there. We talk about that wingspan. You know, he's got these long arms, long levers. Just does a phenomenal job of covering this right in the alley.
Yeah, and good time for a Geico timeout. I'm sure they're going to say, okay, where do we want to go with this serve? Obviously, it's gender to gender. But they're going to make Keiko hit maybe her least favorite return. Where do you think they'll go with this serve?
I think it's more up to what Spears is most comfortable with, and I think it's that serve out wide to the forehand side. But they're playing I, so I take that back.
So you think they're going to go T?
It's T.
Okay.
T or body. See how much I know? Wow. I was right the first time. But that's smart, because usually you have to cover the T if your opponents are playing I, and their Spears goes with that serve that's so effective out wide.
All right, so the Lasers get the fourth set. You can see each team has won a couple of sets. It's coming down to the final event, the men's singles.
4 lucky fans will win it.
Still a chance here. It's Willingham. Enter the box. Willingham shoots. Goal! That was magic. Willingham tucks it in and puts the championship to bed. Sweet dreams. Nice.
As long as soccer players celebrate with a slide, you can count on Geico saving folks money. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Pressure. What pressure? The players on the...
As people who love the outdoors, we know what we stand for. We stand for fish, wildlife, and conserving the places they call home. We stand for the traditions we inherited and that we must pass on. We stand for great gear, fair prices, expert service, and memorable experiences. At At Bass Pro Shops and Cabela's, we stand together for you.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
Somebody's birthday is coming up. Do you know what you want at your party?
Clowns, Can-Can Girl, Fire Eater, a barbershop quartet, mariachi band, an Oprah lookalike.
It's time to party!
Okay. Which one is your favorite?
A princess. Can the princess bring a camel with her?
Tim shares his jacket.
Don thinks he's kinda nice.
Danny shares with Beth.
On a beach in paradise.
Robert shares his dance moves.
Then he shares a spin.
Victor shares with Emily.
But she's more into Quinn.
Kevin shares a song and the spotlight with Colleen.
Nick shares with Ben's sister, the DJ who's 19.
Deja shares with Curtis.
After her curfew.
Sharing's always better when I share a Coke with you.
Glad you could be with us, and welcome back, everyone, to the Palisades Tennis Club in Newport Beach, California. Leif Shiras, alongside a former World Team Tennis veteran and a former World #1 and a Wimbledon champion.
Keep going, Leif,
and
please.
now a mom of 2.
Exactly. That's about all that matters these days.
She's pretty busy, but a great doubles. She played alongside Lindsay Davenport. It was one of the best doubles teams in the world for a long time. But coming down to the final set here, it's going to be exciting because this guy, Kecmanovic, I think is a dynamic young player, and he's playing someone who has really played well, Darian King, for the Breakers.
And a lot on the line in this last set. It's going to be interesting to see how these players deal with the pressure.
Darian King for our Breakers. Darian King.
Final net, King's. 1-0.
Yeah, Kecmanovic is very quick around the court. We know how fast Darian King is. We've seen him play a fair amount. I've seen Kecmanovic play once this season, and he's got some jets. He's got a bit of firepower off the ground.
Yeah, both these players very athletic in their movement around the court. And that's a play that King has used so effectively throughout this season and the times that he's played, is just being able to move the ball around the court from the baseline and come in when he has the chance.
Yeah, Kecmanovic was looking about the line, and suddenly he's looking at the umpire. It's like, well, Misha, there are no lines, people. It's all computer generated. Here's
That's
what
the whole
Hawkeye
idea.
saw.
You can't argue about it anymore.
Darian King, 2 points all.
Yes, indeed. It's put together now. This is the song, Come On. 3-2 game point.
Darian King gets the game, and the Breakers equalize at 15-all. Now, extended play happens if the losing team wins the set, but because the score was so close, I think at the end of that fourth, 15-14, it's almost going to come down to who wins the set to see who will win tonight. Yeah, some evidence of that forehand and the firepower he possesses there. He's got a very quick racket on that hit.
And on both sides. You know, Kecmanovic has that heavy topspin forehand, so that ball moves up and off the court, but then he can hit through the court a little more flat off that backhand side.
Kecmanovic is listed at 6 feet tall, so he's got pretty good height. And oftentimes your size, your physique can sort of dictate the kind of tennis you play. I mean, the game's obviously gotten taller, faster, stronger, but I think he's got kind of an all-court build. He seems comfortable at the net, seems comfortable transitioning. You can see 124 on that last serve, so that was good.
Getting some coaching now from John Lofney-Dieger.
A little Geico timeout. I've always thought player development was a little more of an art than a science. You know, there are no hard and fast answers to developing a player and how a player emerges. But you certainly can see some qualities that are positive in both these guys.
Yeah, and it varies so much from player to player, depending on their style and all the intangibles involved.
Yeah, Darian King beat Taylor Fritz in Indian Wells. Challenger there, got to the finals. Martin Klizan, Slovakian, got him in the finals.
And we talked about the tension in this match. You know, so far, King looks like the more relaxed, composed player out there. You see Kecmanovic looks a little more tense, more agitated right now.
Oh, that was pretty special.
Straight into the little high five to his teammates. Great get there. So athletic and so fluid out there, Darian King.
Yeah, King gets the game 2-1. I think you're right. I think Misha Kecmanovic does look a little more edgy, complaining about some of the calls. And boy, that's nice.
Controlling the middle of the court really nicely there.
Mistimed that return. Just to update you on a score, the Washington Castles, they're just down the 5 freeway south in San Diego. San Diego up 10-7 on the Castles. They won the mixed doubles and the women's singles.
Good defense there from King.
Well, he's obviously got to take care of his serve. I mean, really, the season for the Lasers is hanging in the balance. Darian King up the line.
We talk about his defensive skills, his court coverage, his athleticism. He's got really good feel there. Not only did he chase that down, but able to control the racket head to place that backhand beautifully.
Yeah, he's one cool customer, isn't he? And it shows in his style. Very smooth. Yeah, good first serve and a good first forehand. Kecmanovic and the Lasers get a second game here in the final event of the evening. They've also got a 1-game lead.
So you just walk around telling people Geico could help them save money on car insurance?
Yeah, that, and homeowners, renters, motorcycle and boat insurance.
Huh. That's nice. What happens when you catch a fish?
Geico, more than just car insurance. See how much you could save at geico.com.
I'm okay. In 1974, we founded a tennis league that was built on innovation, team spirit, and excitement. Now, 4 decades later, we're changing the game again and bringing World Team Tennis into the digital video age. This season, for the first time ever, you can stream every match from World Team Tennis on our new channel, WTT.tv, in high definition and completely free of charge. Check it out at WTT.tv.
Kecmanovic winning the opening point with a good return. King, the backhand error. So here is love 1. Darian King serving in the 5th game.
That's been the key for Kecmanovic in this match, is to be able to control the middle of the court. When he's able to position himself there, push King behind the baseline, some of King's balls are just dropping a little too short in the middle of the court.
Hits the net, falls back on the Laser side.
Three, 3-2 game point. Gotta hear it right now for Darian. Let's hear it for Darian. Come on.
All right, here's 3-2.
Game point.
And now deciding point. He's going to take it in the ad court, as you can see. Oh, what a strike!
Unbelievable point there. And you just get the sense Kecmanovic is starting to find his form in this set, getting more comfortable, playing with more aggression. And it is especially evident in that last game. He's getting a little more pop on his ground strokes than King right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, breakers are taking a Geico timeout.
Rick Leach coming out on court. Geico timeout called by the breakers right now.
Yeah, and I think this is also an observation by Leach that, you know, the momentum's slipping. So he's going to try and step in and just, okay, let's take a moment, have a sip of water, turn this thing in our direction. The signs are bigger than the kids. One kid's having trouble carrying it off the court. These signs are heavy. Oh.
That's where he's just stepped up the level of his play, getting more aggressive with that forehand side. Let's see how much topspin he gets on it. The racket head acceleration through the hit. Forward movement in the court.
Yeah, and you look at a young player like this, just 18, and you say, okay, what is the ticket to the big time? Well, consistency, good head, weapons. He's got a few of them. Oh, look at that. That's 4-2. So you can see what's happening now. 19-16, and the Lasers are a game away from eliminating the Breakers from postseason play and to giving themselves a chance if they travel down to San Diego tomorrow and win. They're in.
That's where we like it. Great serve.
Yeah, just to update you on that score, the Castles visiting the Aviators 12-8 in the third event. San Diego with the lead over Washington. Just the kind of game that King needed. A little too much.
But that's exactly what he needs. He needs to start applying pressure of his own and hold serve here and force Kekmanovic to serve this match out.
I'm not sure Walmart was the call. I think it's Toys R Us. I mean, he was just toying with King there.
Great feel there. Good racket head control.
Now, don't discount Darian King. This guy's been a great competitor for this team this season. Still has a 3-2 lead to get to 3-4. All right, takes the game.
Qualifies as a big game right here.
Yes, it does. I'm sure we've got...
In my expert opinion.
I think it's probably a right one. You know, I'm sure we've got some viewers from Springfield who are following this and a few from around the league. This is...
A lot riding on this game.
No doubt about it.
And that's been the key in this set, controlling the court with that forehand.
I like what you said, that, you know, middle of the court, he's got King running left and right. Good attacking tennis.
Applying that forward pressure, and it's so important in situations like this. Force your opponent to come up with the pass. Good deep approach there from King.
Ooh. Really overplayed that backhand.
So I'm looking at the scoreboard right now. If King wins this game and the tiebreak, we go into a super tiebreaker to decide the match.
19 games all. If King can find a way back and win this set. Oh boy. So 2 points all. You know, if you get to 1-2, if you can win one of the next 2 points, you're going to have a break point. So King still has a chance.
Yeah, just got a little anxious on that return. You know, it's been a fine line for King in this match because Kekmanovic, when he's controlling the middle of the court, has put King in a defensive position. So for King to just press a little bit more and play slightly out of its comfort zone, a few more errors are going to come from that.
Yeah. Nice conversation between De Jager and Kekmanovic, a few smiles. It seems like Kekmanovic is looser than he was at the start of this. And Leach offering a bit of support to his man as well. All right, here is the match point for the Lasers. The 1-2 punch works.
Make some noise for Darian. Come on, this is a point we need. Come on for Darian.
Oh boy. This is where the scoring system is going to generate a bit of pressure. Here's a deciding point. Still a match point, but a chance for the Breakers and King to get to a 9-point tiebreak.
King electing to return from the ad side.
And there it is. The Lasers. Misha Kekmanovic winning a huge set. They went into it up 15-14. He closes out the match 20-17 with a 5-3 win.
Nicely done from the Lasers tonight. Cool, calm, and collected under pressure for Kekmanovic. Just a little more firepower than King in that men's singles match, making the difference.
That was a huge difference. Kekmanovic seemed really comfortable. He was a little bit edgy with some calls early, but he settled in. That was a tense rally. There was a lot on the line.
But he was the one willing to go for a little bit more and more comfortable being more aggressive in those situations.
Yeah, this was a great match. It definitely swung back and forth. Orange County won the first set. Springfield won the second. Orange County won the third. Springfield won the fourth. And ultimately the fifth, 20-17. So the Lasers keep alive their hopes.
And this makes things interesting for tomorrow night.
Oh boy, does it ever. They're going to drive down the freeway and take on San Diego tomorrow.
San Diego's winning against the Castles right now.
Yep. And if San Diego hangs on and wins that one down at the Omni La Costa Resort in Spa, well, tomorrow we'll decide who goes. So, as usual, World Team Tennis always ends in a pretty dramatic fashion. We'll take a short break. We'll come back and wrap things up from Newport Beach, California. Just a moment.
I woke up in Memphis and told people about Geico. How they could save 15% or more, but by just calling or going online to geico.com. Sorry, are you gonna... Every time.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Give me a racket and watch me go. Because I won't come back the same. Sometimes I'll come back with scratches and scrapes.
Or with stories of great shots and close shaves.
Of wins for the history books.
And of losses I'll never forget.
But watch me smile.
Say good game.
And put my racket away for now, but not for good.
Because I'll have seen what I can do.
And I know greatness is waiting.
Sign up with Net Generation, official youth tennis of the USTA.
At Hoag Orthopedic Institute, there is no one better at getting you back to you.
WTT.TV has been brought to you by Wilson. Get the best gear in the game. By DecoTurf, official tennis court surface of World Team Tennis and the official surface of the U.S. Open since 1978. By Forevermark. Less than 1% of the world's diamonds are worthy of the Forevermark inscription. Forevermark, a diamond is forever. And by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Graphics provided by New Blue FX. Powered by JVC Professional Video.
Welcome back, everyone. Palisades Tennis Club, the Orange County Breakers, twice a championship team, having raised the King Trophy, but tonight they came up a little short, so their hopes of getting the King Trophy are going to be, they're eliminated. And the Lasers now with a chance to continue on, thanks to the efforts of this young man.
It really was a team effort tonight.
Yeah, there's the owner. That's Eric Davidson, sorry. There just to acknowledge the owner, who's happy that his team played as hard as they did. Here's a reminder of the standings now. San Diego still in action. Lasers winning to get 7-6. And the Castles 6-6. Depending on how the Aviators and the Castles shake down tonight. I mean, there are so many permutations that could unfold. All I'm saying is tune in tomorrow for more of this drama. And Karina's going to have an algorithm to figure all this out.
Oh, your favorite word, the algorithm.
Oh, boy.
We'll see what the trajectory of the standings happens to be.
I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, Philadelphia Freedoms are so happy to be where they are, having said this brilliant season. 12 wins now and 1 loss. I mean, they really are doing some great things, kind of like the Castles did for so long.
Yeah, and you couldn't ask for anything more on the last night of the regular season for it to come down to the wire to decide who plays the Freedoms for the King Trophy in a few days' time.
So glad you could be with us. This was a great night of tennis. Maybe not so good for the Breakers, but it was well fought. And look at, there's Andrea Klipach on the left. She was unable to play tonight. One of the reasons why the Breakers maybe came up a few games short, but you can see how much they enjoy it and giving back to the fans who are here to get a few autographs. Anyway, thanks again, everyone, and we'll hoping that you can tune in tomorrow night for the concluding matches, the final day of the season, and we'll see who will be playing for the King Trophy. For Karina Murario, for our amazing team on site here, I'm Leif Chavez. So long.
Still nervous about finding a new apartment?
Yeah, but popping these things really helps me relax. Please don't. I'm saving those for later.
Well, at least you don't have to worry about renter's insurance. Just go to geico.com.
Geico helps with renter's insurance. It's good to know.
Been doing it for years.
It's really good to know. I'll check them out.
Get to know Geico and see how easy homeowners and renters insurance can be.